Gulf Coast small business owners are crossing the finish line and graduating from an 8-week program designed to help them build and grow their companies. The Mississippi Small Business Development Center Network runs the program, with Kaufman Fast Track offering training in business planning, marketing, pricing, and sales strategy. Organizers say it's designed to strengthen local businesses and boost the local economy. The Southern Crescent Regional Commission funded the program through a state economic and infrastructure development grant. Graduate Leanne Newman says the program changed the way she thinks about her business.
It gave me some perspective of things that I really needed to concentrate on, not just running around handing a senior's blue book to everybody, but what does the public need? What are they looking for? How are they looking for businesses now? You know, it's just not who you know, it's online too. So how do you make that jump to be able to reach a broader audience?
Program leaders say the goal is to turn ideas into sustainable businesses across the Gulf Coast.